Want to know one of the most misunderstood truths about what really attracts women? It's not six-pack abs, it's not a flashy car, and it's definitely not smooth talk. It's boundaries. Strong, grounded, unapologetic boundaries. Here's the reality. Most men never figure this out. They think boundaries push women away, when in fact, they pull women in. But I'm not talking about fake alpha posturing or manipulative tactics. I'm talking about real masculine boundaries, born from self-respect, purpose, and a man who knows exactly who he is. In this video, I'll break down 6 specific boundaries that spark subconscious attraction, not by force, but by presence. These aren't power games, they're clarity moves. And when you hold them, everything shifts. She feels it, she respects it, and she can't help but respond. Pay close attention to boundary number 6 because that one doesn't just protect your power. It redefines how she sees you, and surprisingly, how she sees herself when she's with you. Let's dive in. Boundary 1. The unavailable advantage. Your time is yours. This is the first and most powerful boundary you'll ever set. At first, it feels risky. You don't text back right away. You don't drop everything when she calls. You don't rearrange your life just to be available on her terms. And a voice in your head panics. Won't she lose interest? Won't she think I don't care? Won't she move on to someone else? But the truth? The opposite happens. When you're not always available, you send a powerful message without saying a word. My time has value. My life already has purpose, direction, and momentum. That subtle tension, that mystery of where she fits into your world, it's magnetic. Because constant availability screams one thing: I've got nothing else going on. And here's the unshakable law. Scarcity creates value, always. When a man becomes rare, he becomes irresistible. You don't chase her. You attract her by living fully in your own space. Now be honest. Have you ever been too available, only to watch her interest fade? If that's ever happened, drop the word guilty in the comments. Because this one shift alone can change your entire dating dynamic. Boundary number 2, the no apology rule. Say no without guilt. This single boundary can reshape everything. Here's the psychological twist most men miss. How you say no is far more powerful than how often you say yes. Picture this. She invites you to something that doesn't fit your schedule. You want to decline, but fear of upsetting her creeps in. So you fumble. I'm so sorry. I've got this one thing. Maybe I can move it. I'll try. I promise. You over-explain. You soften your truth. And your boundary dissolves. She feels that weakness. Now compare it to this. I won't be able to make it, but I hope it's great. Let's catch up later this week. Clear, polite, confident, no fidgeting, no apologies, no asking for permission, just ownership of your time. A man who can say no without guilt doesn't just guard his schedule, he sends the message that he trusts himself. And in a world full of men desperate to please, that kind of self-trust is magnetic. Boundary number 3, the respect reflex. Disrespect isn't always loud. Most of the time, it's subtle. It slips into an eye roll when you speak, a sarcastic jab about your work, a dismissive comment in front of friends, a joke that cuts just a little too deep. And most guys, they brush it off. They tell themselves, it's no big deal. But here's the truth you need to understand. Letting things slide doesn't make you easygoing. It makes you invisible, at least to her. Because whether she realizes it or not, she's watching how you handle disrespect. If you don't value yourself enough to call it out, she won't value you either. Now, this isn't about snapping, lecturing, or starting drama. It's about staying calm, looking her in the eye and saying one line: I don't let people talk to me like that. Simple, firm, grounded. That one sentence does more than 1,000 sweet texts ever could. It creates polarity. It shows her you have standards, that you respect yourself, and that being around you requires awareness and respect. And here's the magic. When a woman sees you honor yourself, she doesn't pull away. She leans in, she feels safer. She becomes more feminine because you're holding the frame. Think back. Have you ever let something slide and felt off afterward? Drop the word frame in the comments if that's happened to you. Because those little moments, they reveal everything. Boundary 4, the calm test. Lead instead of react. Here's a truth that separates you from 99% of men. A woman will test your emotional center long before she trusts your emotional depth. Most guys fail this test within minutes. She teases, makes a sarcastic remark, or drops something bold just to see how you'll respond. And what do most men do? They snap, get defensive, over-explain, or shut down completely. And what does that signal? Fragility, insecurity, a man who doesn't know himself, but the man who stays centered, the one who hears the jab, smirks, and says, "That's cute. You always test guys this fast?" That man flips the script. Because emotional control isn't about being cold, it's about being grounded. When she sees she can't rattle you, she relaxes. She respects you. And deep down, she starts wondering, what else is he unshakable about? That question, that curiosity, is what draws her deeper. Because while most men are trying to pass her test, you're the one rewriting it in real time. Boundary 5, the authority of silence. Don't explain, decide. Here's the mistake most men make without realizing it. They over-explain. They sugarcoat every boundary. They write 5-paragraph texts just to soften a simple no. They talk themselves in circles to avoid upsetting her. But here's the truth. When you over-explain, you're not clarifying. You're asking for permission. Even if your words sound confident, your energy betrays uncertainty. Take a classic example. I can't make it tonight. I've had a long week, work's been stressful, and I think I just need to rest and reset. Hope that's okay. Really sorry again. Now compare that to, can't make it tonight. Let's catch up later this week. Feel the difference? One is justification. The other is ownership. Real confidence is efficient. It doesn't ramble. It doesn't seek validation. It doesn't wrap the truth in 10 emotional airbags. It just is. So here's your rule. Say less, mean more. Let silence carry the weight. A man who calmly states his reality and then stops talking holds far more power than the one who keeps trying to be understood. She doesn't need your over-explaining. She needs to feel that your words come from certainty. And when they do, you don't just hold her attention, you earn her respect. Boundary 6, the mission first code. This boundary flips the game on its head. Ready? Here it is. She joins your journey. She doesn't become it. Most men, even smart and ambitious ones, lose themselves the moment a woman enters their life. They shift their schedule, their goals, even their mindset, just to keep her happy. At first, she enjoys the attention, but soon something changes. She feels like she is your purpose, not your vision, not your growth, not your mission. And when that happens, the polarity dies. Here's the paradox. A woman doesn't want to be your entire world. She wants to step into a world that's already alive. She wants to feel your momentum, your path, your fire, a fire that burns whether she's there or not. When you lock into purpose, you become the gravity. She becomes the orbit. That's the shift that separates the man she dates from the man she can't stop thinking about. So ask yourself, what's your mission? What are you building? And are your daily actions in alignment? Because a man who wakes up with purpose, protects his focus, and lives for something bigger doesn't chase women. Women naturally feel pulled in his direction. Bonus boundary number 7. The no fixing rule. Don't fix her emotions. Just hold space for them. Most men, especially the caring ones, fall into the trap of problem solving. She's venting, she's upset, and you jump in with, "Don't worry, it's not a big deal. Here's what you should do." But here's what she hears. "He doesn't trust my feelings. He's trying to fix me instead of feeling me." The truth? A grounded man doesn't patch her storm. He anchors her through it. He listens, he breathes, he stays present without interrupting, without fidgeting, without panicking. That presence makes him the man she trusts, leans on and craves, not because he solved her problems, but because he didn't abandon her in them. Let me make it plain. You don't need the perfect words. You need the right presence. Bonus boundary number 8. The mystery principle: protect your story. Don't overshare too soon. In today's world of constant texting, endless stories, and marathon conversations by day 3, most men overexpose themselves. They spill trauma, financial details, their entire past, as if the first date is a therapy session. And what happens? The mystery dies. Mystery is magnetic. The masculine doesn't explain everything. It lets her lean in, ask, wonder. When you hold a little back, not out of fear, but with intention, you create pull. She feels there's more to you, that knowing you fully is earned, not given away cheap. That slow reveal, that controlled depth is intoxicating. What your boundaries really say. Every boundary sends a message. I know who I am. I'm not afraid to lose what doesn't align. That kind of self-respect is unforgettable. Women feel it, even if they never say it out loud. If he values himself this much, maybe I need to elevate too. You're no longer trying to be enough for her. You're setting the standard and letting her rise to meet it. So tell me in the comments, which boundary hit you the hardest? Which one are you going to live by starting today? If this video shifted your perspective, hit like, subscribe to Dark Psychology, and tap the bell so you never miss an insight that can change your game. Until next time, I'm Amelia, reminding you to set the standard, protect your frame, and own the moment.